All right, in this example, things are going to get a little dicey, a little bit tougher to deal with. And this is really going to be to show that it can be done, that we can deal with fractions, but also, more importantly, it's going to motivate the second half of our lesson here. So in the second half of the lesson, we're going to look at maybe how to deal with this in a little bit nicer way. Let's go through our steps. Step one is to take our constant and shove it to the other side. So we got -7. Now before we do the magic number thing, remember that we got a coefficient of 4 here. So we need to divide both sides of the equation by 4 to get rid of it, giving us x squared minus 3x equals -7/4. Now we need our magic number. Our magic number is to take the middle coefficient divided by 2 squared. So that's going to be 9/4. Now I want you to notice how I write this. Now over here, I'm going to write it as -3/2 squared. Over here, I'm going to write it as the 9/4. Both are the same thing. But again, it makes the factoring easier because on the left-hand side, I know that this is x plus or minus something squared. I know that because I did completing the squares, the whole purpose of what we're doing. Now, what is it that we're squaring? All I got to do is look at what I have written in blue. It's -3/2. It makes it pretty easy that way. Now on the right-hand side, I've got 9/4 minus 7/4. That's 2/4. Yes, this would simplify down to 1/2, but I'm going to leave it like this. And the reason I'm going to leave it like this is because if I look at the denominator, that's a perfect square. And I know I'm about to take the square root of both sides, so I like the fact that that's a perfect square. So now that I have a perfect square on one side, number on the other, we can use the square root property. We can take the positive and negative square root of both sides. Now the square root of 2 I don't know, but the square root of 4 is 2. So now I can add that 3/2 to the other side. So that's one way to write the answer. I could also write the answer by realizing that I have a common denominator. So I could say it's 3 plus or minus √2 over 2. And with either of these, I could write it as two separate answers as well. So I could say it's 3/2 plus √2 over 2. It's 3/2 minus √2 over 2. I could also say it's 3 plus √2 over 2, 3 minus √2 over 2. Either version is correct. It's a matter of do you want to write as two separate fractions or one fraction with a big numerator. But either way, they mean the same thing.